Good evening. We'd like to welcome you to our Elmore County Commission work session dated Monday, January 28, 2019. We'd like to recognize some elected officials that are with us. We have Mayor Johnny Hammock from Tallahassee with us. We appreciate you being here. We also have Judge John Thornton, probate judge, with us. We appreciate y'all being here. We'll call this meeting to order. We'll begin with our regular business, a review of the minutes of the January 14, 2019 Commission meeting. Are there any comments or questions there? We'll proceed. Review the memorandum of warrants for the period of January 9, 2019 through January 23, 2019. Mr. Byer.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, for the period stated, the memorandum of warrants was $2,166,442.78.
Thank you. Any comments or questions there? All right, we'll proceed with old business. Discuss appointment to the CEWSA Board, appointment due January 28, 2019. Candidate listed, Fred Braswell. If you'll remember, this is a board appointment to the Central Elmore Water and Sewer Authority Board. They had a death of a board member, and this is will be to complete that term. Any comments or questions there regarding candidate Fred Braswell, or any additional candidates been submitted to any commissioners? All right, we'll proceed. Discuss appointment to the CEWSA Board, appointment due February 25, 2019. The listed candidate here is William Bill Newton. This is a regularly scheduled, this is a proposal for reappointment for Mr. Newton. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And Mr. Newton has been serving on the board, and this is, the board has submitted his name for reappointment, and we've obviously got it open for any candidates who wish to be considered for that. That will be, that appointment is due 2 meetings from now, February 25th. Any comments regarding Mr. Newton? All right, we'll proceed. The new business, discuss appointment to the Elmore Water and Sewer Authority Board, appointment due February 25, 2019. Candidate listed is Charles R. Basil, goes by Ronnie. Any comments or questions there?
Chairman, I have known Mr. Basil for many years. The Elmore Water and Sewer Authority Service is a good part of District 4. He is currently the chairman. He has an extensive wealth of knowledge in the sewer industry. We're fortunate that he is making himself available for reappointment.
Thank you. And I'll just add a comment. I appreciate the commission putting together this board appointment candidate request form. As you mentioned, Mr. Basil is currently serving as the chairman of that water authority, and he's completed one of the forms. I appreciate that because it allows us to become familiar with all these individuals and their experience and their relevant experience with respect to the particular boards they are pursuing. So I'm delighted to see that he fulfilled that request of filling out that candidate form. Any additional candidates anyone's aware of for that board appointment? We'll continue that discussion at our next meeting. Consider approving resolution to widen, resurface, and traffic stripe Cusata Parkway from Alabama River Parkway north 5.7 miles to Alabama Highway 14. Mr. Byer.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, this is a project that was approved by the MPO last week. This was some additional funds we were able to secure to be able to mill and fill the parkway. Last year, about this time during that freeze, it got a number of sites that were damaged just because of the immense traffic on it with the 14143 project, and also the rough, harsh conditions last winter. So we're going to try to get that, repair those in Commissioner Reeves, mainly in Commissioner Reeves' district. And we've been talking with Mayor with the mayor over there about this, for Mayor Powell, for a few months now. So,
Thank you. Any additional comments there? There are no items on the consent docket. Personnel notifications, notification of reclassification of Robert Rogers, Seth, from Sign Tech 1 to Equipment Operator 1 to fill vacant position effective 1/14/2019. Notification of resignation of Lee Colley, Highway Superintendent, effective 1/17/2019. Notification of hire of Robert Mike Knighton, Chief Financial Officer, replace S. Syriac, effective 2/4/2019. Notification of hire of Camera Templin, Corrections Officer, replace S. Dudley, effective 1/20/2019. Notification of promotion of Stephen Dudley, Corrections Officer, to PREA PREA Coordinator, replace K. Williams, effective 1/20/2019. Notification of promotion of Angelia Rigsby, Dispatcher, to Dispatcher Tier 2, effective 1/10/2019. Notification of promotion of Ashley Cowart, Dispatcher, to Dispatcher Tier 2, effective 1/9/2019. We'll proceed now with reports to the Commission from our Chief Engineer and Operations Officer.
Mr. Chairman, Commissioners, first of all, in the calendar events, you'll have a number of items that are of importance. Ms. Cindy will cover those here in just a few minutes. You mentioned the board forums. We did send out a memo to all our boards that we appoint to today about ensuring that those are completed with nominations of candidates or requests to fill vacant slots. We also, in an effort to try to catch up our records, asked for those boards to supply us the last 2 calendar years worth of minutes, and then any minutes that happened here in the 2019 time frame. We try to keep those up. That's kind of an ongoing chore to try to get all the boards to submit that. In front of you, you've got a little synopsis about the tornado event that Elmore County and Wetumpka experienced. Just got a few facts that Keith and his staff have put together, as well as some assessments that have been done between EMA staff and the Extension Office. This is just for your information, but also wanted to take a minute just to thank the staff for everything that they've done over the last week and a half. And Keith has done an excellent job leading that group, but we've had a myriad of volunteers and other agencies that have supported us. And at some point, we'll have a total list of that where the Commission can make the appropriate thank you. We did have the opportunity at the MPO last week to have a lot of our partners in the room from the municipal side and county side to be able to thank. But basically, a little over 219 properties have been assessed. I think there was about 3 that came in after this was completed this morning. But about 21% of the damaged properties are commercial, and close to 80% is the residential properties that were damaged to some extent. That didn't include properties that had trees down and all that. That number gets you all the way up above the 220. So another thing to note is, you know, within the first day and a half, Keith and them had a volunteer resource center opened up at DHR, and that had to be closed down because of the sheer number of volunteers that were being checked in, and the fact that they were outpacing the ability to put them in places where they could be useful on the front end, because there was so much happening right on the onset. So they did that. Keith and them did an excellent job, and by that was Tuesday, I believe, when that got or Monday when that got shut down. But then by Thursday, Friday, they had the VOAD group in there back working, and so I don't think there's anybody that hasn't had the opportunity to get their needs met by volunteers. We've been working hard with that with the city. The other item you've got in your packet is y'all have all been tracking the storm that is coming this way, whether it's Snowmageddon 2019 or whether it's going to be a rain and flurry event. That is just a reminder. That's the information. If we were to have to deem our roads impassable, that's the statement that we put out that affects county roads and county roads only. That's all we assess a statement on. The next item in your packet is from Schneider Electric, the company that helped us with our energy project several years ago and is still on board in terms of doing monitoring. That's just an update for you to show that Through this point, we're about $30,000 to the good on our savings in addition to what was guaranteed. So we're trending very well in that department, and those guarantees are not only paying for the improvements, so it didn't come out of the county's general fund in terms of extra funding or the road and bridge fund, public building, road and bridge. So coming out of those savings, so money the county would have been spending if they didn't make those improvements anyway. The next item you've got, I emailed this to y'all end of last week, but I wanted to just mention this in our public setting that Luke McGinney, our Deputy Chief Engineer, had completed the NACO's High Performance Leadership Academy. It's the first one that the NACO has put on, and he was in a group of leaders that will now have the ability to kind of follow each other as they go through their career. It's aimed at some of the younger leaders and equipping them with access to people like General Colin Powell and other leaders across our country that most of them will probably either read about or seldom get the opportunity to hear in person. So we want to congratulate Luke on being able to do that, and we're going to be looking for other people in the other departments that have that drive and initiative to participate in the future. What Luke participated in, we paid roughly a quarter of the actual cost for that training because of the way NACO had a scholarship program for the first time county attendee to participate. So instead of a $2,000 leadership class, it was about $500 for us to participate in that. So I think Luke can give you in person the benefits that he got out of that. But I can tell you, for me as a supervisor, having to monitor him through it, I was worn out just monitoring through the process, much less what he had to do to complete it. So the last thing in your packet is a HRRR application that the county was funded on for some guardrail improvements on 3 sites. It's roughly a little less than $120,000, but I wanted y'all to see that. That was something that Luke and his staff worked on and was able to achieve for us. High-risk rural roads is unfortunately a program that counties get access to when the fatality rate in the state exceeds a rolling 5-year average from year to year. And so it's not a good thing that we have access to that money, because that means that the fatalities are going up. But anytime we can invest money back in our county to be able to prevent fatalities, we're all for that. So between this and the CUSADA project that was mentioned in the regular part of the meeting, that's about $1.2 million of projects that have been secured in the last week and a half that are coming in back to the county. So, Mr. Chairman, that's all I have in the way of report. Do you have any questions or comments for me?
Thank you. We appreciate the detailed report and your help and leadership through the tornado disaster and the recovery efforts that are ongoing. We'll proceed now with reports from the Commission. We excuse Commissioner Holt, who's not with us due to illness tonight. We'll begin with Commissioner Daughtry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. It would be impossible to thank everybody and even every agency that was involved in and has continued to be involved in the tornado situation. But I certainly want to echo what Mr. Byers said and thank our EMA director and his staff for the superb job that they did from the very instant it happened. And although he was new to that area, you'd never know it. Didn't miss a step. And so we certainly thank him and every agency that was involved. And we're very thankful there was no serious injury or death. That's the most important thing. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Mercer.
Thank you, Chairman. I would just like to express my most sincere gratitude and tell you how proud I was to witness the way our staff responded in our effort to support Wetumpka started this past Saturday afternoon and actually all the way up to current time. It was very, very encouraging, and like I say, it made me very proud to see the way that y'all handled situations, the way you interacted with others, and also I was very encouraged by the response that I saw that afternoon by the surrounding communities. I was standing out there in front of the Baptist church and saw a truck come by from Snowden Fire Department. And they're a good ways away from us. And there was responding units from all over the river region, and it was just very assuring and comforting to know that we had the support that we did, and appreciate the opportunity to support Wetumpka, and then also the people in the unincorporated areas of the county as well. So again, thank you for what y'all did and the great job. That's all I have, Chairman.
Thank you. Commissioner Reeves?
Good evening to everyone. I'd just like to piggyback on what they said. I want to thank all our staff, all of the first responders, and especially for the law enforcement part. I know I saw law enforcement from all over the river regions here helping out, and I sure appreciate them for coming here and helping one another like as they did. And I want to thank our highway department, our staff, and everybody that was involved in it. That's all I have.
Thank you. I appreciate my fellow commissioners and their comments regarding the disaster relief and recovery efforts. I was on site within about 5 minutes of the tornado hitting. I don't live far from here, and did not expect what I saw when I pulled up. I think many of us had heard things or seen things on some of the news broadcasts, maybe on your phone while you were doing what my family was, which was in our bathtub in the middle part of our house with 4 children and a dog, and as we felt like it was safe to come out, making our way down here, my son and I did not expect to see what we saw when we approached the 2 churches in this area. But needless to say, our partner agencies throughout the river region, along with our EMA director, worked seamlessly to establish, first and foremost, recovery for any individuals who might be trapped or not in communication with others, and they did an excellent job of doing that. And then safety is a priority in these cases, and so I would encourage everyone to make sure that you are following Elmore County Commission on our EMA on social media, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, wherever you can find us, because that's going to be the official communication that comes with regards to these disasters. And unfortunately, there's a lot of misinformation that gets spread pretty quickly, and some of that misinformation, as you know, it exponentially grows, and then it becomes a problem, and it makes it difficult. So we face things like a lot of people converging on the site right afterwards and not being able to get emergency personnel in, because for the first few hours we weren't sure if there was anyone in a home that might be trapped, and we couldn't get emergency personnel there because everyone was coming to sightsee. So if there's an opportunity to follow us on social media, you can get that communication so that we can ensure everyone's safety. And then the response of volunteers was tremendous. As was mentioned, over 1,000 volunteers in a day and a half that were registered. There were probably hundreds more that were not registered, that simply lived right here and just walked out their front door and volunteered. When you consider that for a community our size, it is a true testament to our compassion and love towards one another. We saw many different groups and organizations make change to plans that they had in order to support the recovery efforts. The Elmore County Disaster Relief Fund was established in 2011 after the tornadoes in April of 2011. That Disaster Relief Fund is an excellent organization that's able to meet the needs of individuals who maybe are underinsured or not insured or having trouble meeting their deductibles, or whatever it may be. The information gathered by our the EMA staff and others who went and canvassed the area, they collected information on who needed help, what their needs were, and then the Elmore County Disaster Relief Fund, which is funded solely by donations, they are able to complete a form for the request and then turn around and meet the needs of that individual quickly, not in a month or in 2 months, but we're shooting for 24 to 48 hours to meet those needs. And The Elmore County Disaster Relief Fund has 9 individuals in our community who are on that committee, and they're the ones who vet and evaluate that process. It's not directly affiliated with the commission, but we were able to provide them with a location to meet so that they could get started and reestablish or reactivate that fund that was established in 2011. So we're grateful for all the donations that have come into our county and the city of Wetumpka. We also are grateful to Governor Ivey, Congresswoman Martha Roby, and our legislative delegation, all of which were represented here in person on Monday afternoon to tour the disaster area, and by being on the ground and assessing the damage, hopefully they'll be able to find ways to assist us in the recovery. So, yes, Mr. Byer?
I forgot to mention, all of you touched on the disaster, but in the back of the room there is a map that shows the track and it shows the affected parcels. So I wanted to mention that, especially for the press being able to take a look at that and see. We just got that right before we came into the session, so I want to make sure y'all had an opportunity to view that too.
Thank you. We appreciate that. We will now move forward with our important calendar dates. Ms. Cindy?
On Tuesday, February 5th, 2019, the Elmore County Legislative Luncheon will be here at the Administrative Complex at 11:30 a.m. Saturday, February 9th, 2019, is our countywide cleanup day from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at our Central Elmore Water and Sewer Authority, Redland facility, the town of Casada Post Office, Emerald Mountain Equestrian Center, Hopeful High School, Kent, and Elmore County Judicial Complex. Monday, February 11th, 2019, is our commission work session at 5 p.m. with our business meeting immediately following. Monday, February 18th, 2019, is our Elmore County Administrative Complex will be closed in observance of President's Day. And February 22nd, Friday to Sunday, February 24th, 2019, is our Severe Weather Preparedness Sales Tax Holiday. And then Monday, February 25th, 2019, is our commission work session at 5 p.m. with a business meeting immediately following.
Thank you. We'll reconvene shortly. I'd like to welcome you to our Elmore County Commission business meeting Monday, January 28, 2019. I'll call this meeting to order. We'll begin with an invocation offered by Commissioner Daughtry, following which Commissioner Mercer will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let us pray. Father, we thank you for this opportunity, and it is indeed an opportunity to come before you serving our fellow citizens. Father, we know that we're stewards of our fellow citizens, and it's an awesome responsibility to be given that responsibility, Father, to represent your people. And thank you so much for this opportunity. May we always reach out to you for guidance and wisdom and help us to do the right thing always, and most importantly, help us to put you first in our lives, and then everything else will fall into place. We thank you, we praise you, we honor you in every regard. These things we ask in thy name. Amen.
Amen. Ms. Cindy, would you call roll?
Commissioner Holt, Commissioner Daughtry,
Here.
Chairman Stubbs,
Here.
Commissioner Mercer,
Here.
Commissioner Reeves.
Proceeding with regular business, is there a motion to approve the minutes of the January 14, 2019 Commission meeting as presented during the work session?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Ms. Cindy?
Commissioner Daughtry,
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs,
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer,
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve the memorandum of warrants for the period of January 9, 2019 through January 23, 2019?
Motion to approve.
Second. Ms. Cindy?
Commissioner Daughtry,
Yes.
Chairman Reeves, Chairman Stubbs,
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer,
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Proceeding with old business, is there a motion to approve appointing Fred Braswell to the CEWSA Board due January 28, 2019?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Cindy?
Commissioner Daughtry,
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs,
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Proceeding to new business, is there a motion to approve resolution to widen, resurface, and traffic stripe Cusata Parkway from Alabama River Parkway north 5.7 miles to Alabama Highway 14?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Ms. Cindy?
Commissioner Daughtry,
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs,
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Proceeding with personnel notifications, notification of reclassification of Robert Rogers Seth from Sign Tech 1 to Equipment Operator 1, fill vacant position, effective 1/14/2019. Notification of resignation of Lee Colley, Highway Superintendent, effective 1/17/2019. Notification of hire of Robert Mike Knighton, Chief Financial Officer, replace S. Syriac, effective 2/4/2019. Notification of hire of Camera Templin, Corrections Officer, replace S. Dudley, effective 1/20/2019. Notification of promotion of Stephen Dudley, Corrections Officer, to PREA Coordinator, replace K. Williams, effective 1/20/2019. Notification of promotion of Angelia Rigsby, Dispatcher, to Dispatcher Tier 2, effective 1/10/2019. Notification of promotion of Ashley Cowart, Dispatcher, to Dispatcher Tier 2, effective 1/9/2019. Any additional reports to the Commission? Is there a motion to adjourn?
So move?
Second.
Ms. Cindy?
Commissioner Daughtry,
Yes.
Chairman Stubbs,
Yes.
Commissioner Mercer.
Yes.
Commissioner Reeves.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.